Okay. Welcome to today's webinar. My name's Greg Jones. First and foremost, we're going to hand over to Dan this morning, who's going to give us a quick introduction in terms of IT Desk, and then hand over to myself to have a quick run through today's presentation.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Dan here from IT Desk. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. You're all in good company. You're all clients of IT Desk that are on the webinar, and we thank you all for coming along. Today's session really is just about gaining some kind of knowledge around some of the cyber threats that are happening around with our partner Datto, just to make sure that everybody's up to speed. And we want to be doing our part in educating the clients that we're working with to make sure that you've got the kind of the biggest expanse of knowledge, so also you can make decisions about your business. So we're going to have some, it's not going to be a massively long and drawn out session, and then we're also going to have some nice follow-up bits afterwards that you can share with your colleagues as well. So we look forward to sharing this knowledge with you today, and hoping it's going to be really insightful for everyone. So thanks very much, and I'll pass you back to Greg.
Thanks, Dan. Okay, good afternoon and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Greg Jones from Datto. I am Business Development Director, so I am one of the product evangelists that actually works with Dan and the team at IT Desk to make sure that their clients are protected in this new work from anywhere world, which we've just entered a couple of months ago. Just give you a little bit of history around Datto as an organization, just so that you get an idea of the size of our organization. We have a global reach around the world, meaning offices all over and employees all over, so certainly have support and dedication from a global organization. We were founded only in 2007 by our founder, Austin McCord, and today we have 23 offices across the globe, over 1,900 employees, and at the moment around about 18,500, I believe it is, partners who actually partnership up and work with Datto. So as a business, and what we do with IT Desk is all around continuity, making sure that business continuity is paramount in today's world, making sure that the data is backed up and it's accessible at any point, time, day or night. People often think about data and backup for normal events. When I say normal events, I mean, disasters. Haven't said that, but quite regular things. For instance, the likes of fire and certainly flood. However, what most people tend to actually forget, that some of the biggest risks out there in business and certainly in today's world around data is that people, whether that be employees, are your greatest risk to your organization. And I don't mean that from a malicious or a malice point of view. It could be anything from ransomware, it could be malicious, but it could be also accidental deletion of data or a security breach within an organization. Many organizations across the world spend many different amounts in terms of budget on IT and IT security. However, the weakest chain and link in the fence really is always the employee or the human that works for potentially that organization. So today's example really on screen is one of in Hawaii. This was an employee that accidentally sent out a warning message to let all of the residents on the island know of an imminent attack, which was just around inbound missiles, and it was because he'd actually accidentally clicked on something that he shouldn't have. And also as well, when he came on to apologize for the confusion and the problems he had caused globally. He then went on to, you can see the on the screen here, the post-it notes on the actual desk, shared some of the passwords and usernames for some extremely confidential systems. And you can just see here the password. And we've seen this for many different organizations, whether it be on the news or highlighting of different businesses around the world. This is a UK weather emergency, and you can see it here in the background on the screen that actually the username and password has now been shared with all people who were watching that actual news broadcast. And I guess that's a real point that we want to touch on today. Over the last few months with the current health pandemic, the way we operate and the way we go about business has massively changed. We've now entered a work from anywhere world where anything is possible, and to work in today's digital age, you know, it's all about empowering the internet, telephony systems, so that people can get operational from home as we are today. And here I'm in my home today, and I know Dan and Scott are certainly working from home today. But just to touch on what most people don't realize is the majority of traffic on the internet is actually not what we believe. So the likes of Yahoo and Google and, you know, the traditional websites that we traverse in our daily lives, in our business, underpinning that is a lot more deeper analytics of the internet, really, and something that's called the deep web or dark web, which is really a place that we recommend you not to specifically go out and explore. But this is some of the places where you can see the likes of drug trafficking, the likes of cybercrime. You can buy anything on the deep web or the dark web, really. And we are traversing these complex business landscapes at the moment in this work from anywhere world. But we just want to point out that since lockdown, the evolution of cyber threats has actually changed business today. So the threat landscape has massively changed, and we're not going to touch on, and I don't want to, you know, go too in depth in this today, but there are many different threats to your organization. And many people think, okay, but the likes of the hackers out there, whether that be a collective hacking group or ransomware, they're not interested in my business data. And that is actually where organizations typically tend to be wrong. We're seeing a lot out there at the moment in the SMB space, and we analyze all kinds of numbers. That this is a health crisis and a global crisis around ransomware, security, crime, and literally businesses, SMBs, are being preyed on. So 43% of all cyber attacks at the moment is aimed at the SMB market, and that is a colossal number. 91% of attacks come from a phishing attack, meaning they just sent out a mass of emails and hoped that somebody actually clicked on that. A user who is potentially behind enemy lines, so to speak, actually clicks on one of these links. And that is exactly, if you remember, with the NHS lockdown only last year. Again, that was due to somebody clicking on just a phishing email, had multi-million-pound implications across the world. But this can and does happen to organizations on a daily basis. We're seeing businesses hit with ransomware every 13 to 14 seconds globally around the world. So some really scary numbers. And what we're not looking today is we're not looking for this to be a scare tactic. We just want to open your eyes around the dangers of ransomware and security attacks going up as we go into a work from anywhere world. as these threats are evolving in complexity and also sophistication, some of these are actually testing our own morality. And what I mean by that is, many years ago, and even going back just a number of years, somebody would be infected with the likes of ransomware or their systems be infected. And the only way out of this was either restoring all of your business systems or by paying a ransomware penalty, if you like. Ultimately, exactly what it says on the tin. You pay the ransom and they unlock your system. But in today's market, they've actually looked at a way to adopt this and say, okay, we wasn't getting brilliant traction from that. And we know that the person who is infected now will have friends and business associates and contacts. So why don't we say to that person, actually, to unlock your business data, if you infect 2 of your friends or your business contacts, you will actually, your business data will be unlocked. And they are preying on the likes of you as an individual, because they know your click-through rate. If an email comes from you to one of your friends are more likely, or business associates, to actually click on that and infect them. So really scary. And this screen that's on screen at the moment really shows that these businesses nowadays, wherever they are in the world, you'll never be able to trace them, because they are hidden behind many different complex systems. And I don't want to get into the technical jargon of that today. That's not what IT Desk are about. This is more just letting you know that this is how the world is changing. And some of these companies, although they are what we call bad actors, they operate as a full business model. So as here you can see in this drop-down list, we have most languages. You can quite easily change your ransomware message on screen, because these are fully fledged businesses. They operate 24 hours a day. They have custom services support desk, so that you can phone up and find out how you can pay the ransom. And certainly by changing any of the language here, whether it be, you know, from Japanese to Polish or Italian, you can easily find out how to pay this ransom. And as we move to a digital world and all working from anywhere, some of the biggest threats out there nowadays that we're seeing, and certainly from 2018, is one of the biggest attacks on a casino is not what you think it would be. So normally, where we would think of an Oscar-winning film, maybe the likes of I don't know, Ocean's 11, Casino Royale, or one of the other titles that are out there. Actually, it's not about people running through with guns or storming the back door, or an extremely sophisticated heist on a casino. They actually done this from the reception area of the casino, and it was one of the greatest heists of all times. It wasn't, as I said, as a film. We've all seen the film Casino. It was, they entered the organization through the fish tank that actually sat in the main lobby, and they connected to it via what we call an IoT device, an Internet of Things device. You've probably got some in your business at the moment, anything maybe from a smart kettle to a thermometer, an air conditioning unit, anything that plugs into your network. And we're certainly seeing a lot of these we only have to look in our homes nowadays. It's not just computers, but many different devices. And this was one where they actually exploited the casino via using a thermometer within a fish tank. Quite incredible. But they walked in the front door, stole a database of the high rollers, and walked back out the front door without being detected at all. And many people passing them in the reception area literally just thought it was a business professional on a laptop working within that casino. So we want you to stop, and today's message from IT Desk is really about stop thinking about a traditional backup, just backing up of your data. The landscape now has massively changed, and start thinking about business continuity. And the message to get across is it's not, continuity is not just about having some of your data in the cloud or just having a copy of your data backed up. It's much more than that nowadays. When we talk about business continuity, it's about a multifaceted approach to technology, making sure that yes, your data is in the cloud, but also you have a copy of it local. Not only are we just backing up the likes of your raw data, but we are backing up your business system so that you can get fully operational, and also building in ransomware detection. Many systems nowadays, we're looking at anywhere between 60 and 100 days before a ransomware or an attack has actually been detected. And certainly what IT Desk are thinking about is making sure that your business can become instantly operational in the cloud, and that's when we start talking about the likes of instant virtualization in today's work from anywhere environment. Some of the key factors that IT Desk look at when they are looking at your business data is you as an organization, is your recovery point objective and your recovery time objective. Sounds quite complicated, but ultimately what that means is how much business data can you afford to lose as a business owner, as a CEO, and as a director, and for how long can your business be not operational? So can your business be down and in essence dead in the water, as they say? So back in the day, this used to be a very, very complex formula, but today IT Desk have a really simple way, and will be really happy to talk you through a process of giving you a monetary value of what your raw business data actually costs. And the way we do that is using a recovery time calculator. So IT Desk will actually have a business conversation with you around your business, number of employees, your average staff count, average on costs, average salary, and quite easily from that they can give you, based on the likes of 10 questions, an actual value to your data, either per minute, per second, per hours, so that you can quantify knowing how long your business can be offline for. In some cases, it is acceptable to have maybe an hour or 2 hours of downtime. And in other businesses, it's actually not even worth thinking about if that organization is down for an hour, a minute, or 15 minutes. It really does depend on the business value of your data and offsetting against real-time costs. So IT Desk have a situation where they can quite easily give you a true number for your business data. And again, these are some of the questions: how many employees, what's their average salary, the average overhead on a particular employee for that business, and what the kind of business revenue is for your organization. They can then quantify it and say, actually, this is the value of that data. So when we think about data today, it's all about data protection. And IT Desk, along with Datto as a partnership, look at a 360 holistic approach to technology, and certainly around business continuity around data. So today, one of the main points that we really want to hammer home is around SaaS protection, which is software as a service. So the likes of Microsoft Office 365, or G Suite environments. Many people out there believe that because they have these systems, and just because they can access these systems across the world at any point, they believe that Microsoft and Google must be taking steps to back up this data and make sure it is safe and secure. Whereas actually, that is not the case. When we look at what's called the EULA agreements, which is the end user agreement, and it's one of them many pages of text when you sign up to something that you just click next, yes to. But they actually recommend that you use a third party to back up of all of your data within Office 365. So that is certainly the likes of all of your emails, some of your business data, your business contacts. And here on screen, you will see this is an extract from Microsoft's Office 365 license agreement, where we recommend that you regularly back up your content and data that you store on the services using a third-party application or service. And that is exactly the same for Microsoft and Google G Suite. The words to there or thereabout exactly the same. Google shall not be liable for your data or intangible losses. What they mean by intangible losses is the staff cost that it costs your business to get operational again for that period of time where you're actually unable to work. Now, as this has been a huge concern for businesses in 2020 and beyond, we are seeing that hackers and ransomware are actually preying on victims now, and actually really going to town with some of these attacks around Office 365 and attacks on G Suite. Some of the emails that actually come in look like genuine, bona fide business emails into your organization. And would some of your staff, if they are in a busy period of time, which is what these hackers use, they know when your month end or month end payment run or financial busy period is, and that's when they attack by sending many of these emails into the business, hoping that just one of your employees actually accidentally clicks on, and within literally a few moments, all of your email is encrypted, so that you actually can't get this data back. It doesn't just affect one email that's in your Office 365 environment, Office 365 environment. It goes through all of your emails within moments, and it also populates across all of the staff within your business. So within a few moments, your business is encrypted and there's no way of getting that data back. IT Desk offer what's called a software as a service approach to making sure that your data is actually backed up. So as part of today's webinar, and really our whistle stop tour and highlight today, it's more around, we wanted you to be educated, because small businesses and SMEs are on the hook for around 60 billion a year in ransomware attacks. These are direct attacks on businesses, whether that be on UK soil or US based soil. And today, IT Desk just wanted you to have the knowledge and be empowered to know that whether it be standard business data or whether it be Office 365 data, IT Desk have offerings and solutions to protect your organization. Today was just around highlighting some of how the market has changed over this health pandemic. Over the last 3 to 4 months, we've seen attacks on the increase, and also businesses being more vulnerable than ever have been before. We're going to pass back over now to Dan just to talk a little bit more about this, but we didn't want today to be a scare factor. It was just giving you some information of what has changed in the business landscape, and to say that here at Datto and also IT Desk, we have solutions and offerings to protect your organization going forward. So Dan, that was a whistle-stop tour. I'm very quick, but I'm just going to bring back over to you now and bring you into the conversation, really.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant. Brilliant, Greg. A whistle-stop, but actually what it wasn't was overwhelming. Well done for taking out pretty much all the acronyms, and I'm sure everybody will have appreciated you not going into too much technical speak, as that's not what our clients are interested in, and certainly not the way that we like to operate at IT Desk as well. So we really appreciate that. There was definitely some really insightful knowledge there. I think the key word that for me that the takeout is empowered. We want our clients to feel empowered to make the right decisions, and they definitely were, and definitely will feel empowered from what they've learned from today. I just wanted to go back over one point, because there's certainly something that we've had in our discussions, which is the assumption that with 365, with Microsoft 365 and with Google G Suite, that you have these things covered, that you just naturally assume if you've deleted something that you're going to be able to access that data back. But clearly, as you say, it's a bit like those Apple agreements, isn't it? You click agree and next, but buried deep in there is a recommendation to have some kind of backup within that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And today's piece is more about education, awareness. Reach out to IT Desk to have these conversations, just around protecting your organization. We see it many times where it's just too late to take action. The organization, unfortunately, has been a victim of cybercrime, which is for last year was the first year that cybercrime actually took over real world crime. There was more cybercrime reported in the digital world than what was around, whether that be burglaries or whatever, in the real world. These are some scary numbers. So just take action. And I know, Dan, I believe you're going to be sending out some information and best practice tips and whatnot. I don't know whether you want to touch on that a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got some great data that we want to send out, and we're going to follow up with everybody that registered and was interested in the subject, and we'll send that those infographics that we've got just to kind of re-embody the stuff that we've been going through on the call. I think it just makes it, just backs up basically everything that we've been talking about today, and again, it's just making sure that, I think absolutely right, that that cybercrime has massively changed, and often a classic one will be for our manufacturing or construction clients. Often there's something in the business that's you gave the example of the fish tank in the in the casino. But actually, there's an awful lot of printers which are, are Wi-Fi connected. So it's really, really key to understand that, that's where that can be as well. Those they can go through those things. Manufacturers would often assume, oh, we've got a couple of admin computers, a few things in the office, but we're not going to get attacked. But they can be as well.
Yeah, it's and it is scary in some ways, but you've got to be overzealous, I guess, around looking for things. We're seeing light bulbs now coming out that are potentially can connect to your network. This is no exaggeration in the home and workplace. And I was not joking when I said about a workplace kettle. We see vending machines, clicks machines, kettles in the office connecting, patching into business networks. And these are the things that are vulnerable and will be exploited. So it is taking it to, engage to the next level with IT Desk and say, hey guys, how can we look at a 360 approach to security and technology to make sure that, if we are not exploited via that weakest link in the chain, because they are experts at what they do, and they will find that weakest part of the chain. And it might be something that sits outside the normal remit of the likes of IT Desk, but please engage with them, have a conversation, if nothing else, just for peace of mind, and so that you can tick it off and say, this year we have addressed that. You might have to redo it again in 6 months, you know, because things change and you buy new assets and everything else. But engage with IT Desk on a regular basis and just keep going over. And we are always here to help as well. You know, contact IT Desk. Dan knows how to get a hold of myself. And if we need to support you specially in any way, we'd be more than happy to have that business conversation.
Absolutely right, Greg. And that's the other point, is to provoke those conversations, you know, about today's webinar as well. So people can click in with us, you know, contact us, as well as us reaching out to our clients. We want our clients talking to us as well and asking us questions. And, you know, we've got great tools which we can run on businesses for those checks as well. So absolutely, absolutely perfect. So thank you ever so much for today, Greg. It's been fantastic.
No problem at all. Yeah, and thank you to everyone who's on today on behalf of Datto and also IT Desk. We hope that you enjoyed today's session, and also please stay safe in this current health pandemic. Have a great day. Dan, nice to see you. No doubt we'll chat again soon, sir.
Will do. Thanks very much, Greg. Cheers.
Take care. Bye-bye.